Hi guys, how are you doing today? Hope you're good. Alright, I am Adedayo. I'll be taking year 7 science and we'll be continuing from where we stopped the last time. Remember the last time we talked about non-living things? Alright, don't forget I told you that our environment consists of two types of matter, that is the living and non-living matter. And we'll talk about the definition of non-living things, which are things that don't have life in them. We gave some example like your chair, your table, your things, things in your environment that don't possess life. They are known as non-living things. Alright, and like I remember I also told you the classification of non-living things, which are two. We have the living and non-living type of matter, that is things. Alright, quickly today, our focus will be on the properties of non-living metals. The properties of non-living metals. Alright, what I'm talking about is that we are going to be looking at the properties of non-living things, that is the ones that are metals and the ones that are non-metals. Some living are metals, that is they contain iron in them, and some are non-metal, they do not contain iron in them. So we are going to be looking at the properties of non-living metals and non-metals. I repeat, we are going to be looking at the properties of non-living metals and metals. Alright, come with me as we write. Now, some of the properties include the following. Now we have the properties of non-living metals and non-metals. Non-living, metals and non-metals. Now, how do we get metals and non-metals? Don't forget it's from the classification of living thing. We are told that living thing can be classified into two groups, which is living metal and non-living. So, due to that, we are going to be looking at the properties of some living metals and some non-metals. Some non-metals and some non-metals. Now, to start with, let me tell you the meaning of properties. Property simply means the makeup of something. That's just the meaning. The makeup of something is called its properties. Alright, now let's start with metals now. I'm going to put it in a tabular form. Alright, now I have metals and non-metals. Now don't forget, these two are still the classification of of non-living thing. That is the term non-living thing can be classified into metals and non-metals. For example, one property of metal include they are hard. Yes, they are hard. Metals are hard particles or materials. They are always hard. Alright. Now, non-metals, they are not hard except diamond. They are not hard except diamond. Now, it means non-metals are not hard. It's only diamond as a non-metal. Diamond is a non-metal. It's the only one that is hard. Alright. Now, let's look at another property first, as we're looking at 7 or 8. Now, they have shiny physical appearance. They have shiny physical appearance. Alright. That means most metals shine in their physical appearance. When you see them, they shine. They blink. They are very shiny in nature. Why non-metals? They are dull. They are dull in physical appearance. Most non-metals are dull. For instance, let's take a look at wood. Wood is a perfect example of a non-metal. Wood is a perfect example of a non-metal, and wood is dull in appearance. Now let's look at this one. Now your ceiling fan. Your ceiling fan, is coated with some shining parts or what they call paint. You can see that it shines. So that is a typical example of what I mean by they are shiny in physical appearance. Alright, let's look at another one. Metals, they have high boiling point. They have high boiling point. point. All right. Why non-metal? Non-metal, it is vice versa, what an opposite. If they have high boiling point, non-metals they have low boiling point. Non-metal has low boiling point. All right. Another property I want to give you is that they have, now this one, they have high boiling point, they have low boiling point, they have high melting point. Yes, metal, they melt easily. They melt easily when they get to what they call a roasting process. They have high melting point. They have high melting point. Now, why non-metals? They have low melting point. Non-metals they have low melting point. All right. Let's look at another property first. Now, metals are ductile. Metals, they are ductile. I will tell you the meaning of ductile. Ductile simply means wires can be run through them. Wires can be run through them. Wires can be run through them. It means wire can easily go through metals. Wire can easily go through metals. Now, it is vice versa. Now, this one now, they are not ductile. They are not ductile. That is, wire cannot go through them easily. Wire cannot go through them. All right. Now, metals, they rust easily. They rust easily. They rust easily. While non-metals, they do not rust easily. They do not rust. They do not rust. I will not put easily, they do not rust at all. Metals rust easily, that is, they undergo rusting. They rust easily or they undergo rusting. The non-metals, they do not rust. They don't rust. Let me give you another property first. Now, I've talked about metals. Now, this one. Now, metals are easily bent when heated. They are easily bent or put into shape. They are easily pulled into shapes when heated. Now, metals are easily put into shapes when heated. That is, they are malleable. Yes, that's another term for it. Another term. They are malleable. Malleable simply means something that can easily be bent or can easily be put into another shape. They are put into shapes when heated. That is malleable. Now, I told you it's vice versa. What an opposite? They are not malleable. They are not easily put into shapes. They are not easily put into shape. That is, they are not malleable. All right. Now let's quickly go through the lesson again for so many reasons. All right, we talk about non-living things as things that do not have life. Our environment consists of two types of matter, which are living matter and non-living matter. Now, the last time we talked about classification of non-living things, which include living and non-living type of metals. All right, today we have Year 7 class treating the properties of metals and non-metals. The properties of metals and non-metals for Year 7. All right. Now, properties of non-metals and non-metals. Now, we talk about some properties. At least we talk about 7 properties for non-metals and metals. Now, we talk about the first one. They are hard. Metals are hard. Metals are hard. If you want to doubt me, try to check your standing fan, your ceiling fan. You will see you cannot easily bend them. They are hard. They are hard. Why non-metals? They are not hard except diamond. For instance, you can take a plastic plate. You can take a plastic bowl. You can see that you can easily break it into shapes. That is the meaning of non-metal. They are not hard. They are not hard. Now, the second one I talk about, they are shining in physical appearance. They have what? They have shining physical appearance. They have shiny physical appearance. That means some metals shine. Like your standing fan, they shine. You see the coating is very shiny. Why? Why non-metals? They are dull in physical appearance. All right. We talk about they have high boiling point. Now, non-metals, they have low boiling point. All right. We talk about they have high melting point. Okay, they have low melting point. Now, 5 metals, they are ductile. They are ductile. That is, wires can be run through them. they are ductile. That is, wire can easily go through metals. They are not ductile. It means wire cannot go through them. Alright, we talk about another one. They rust easily. They undergo rusting. That's another term for it. Metal undergo rusting. You see, a metal can easily rust. A metal can easily rust. But in this case, non-metal, they do not rust. Plastic plates, plastic bowl cannot rust. You should know that. Alright, we talk about they are put into shapes when heated. They are put into shapes when heated. That is, they are malleable. Malleable means something that can easily be beaten or be put into shape when heated. While non-metal, they are not easily put into shapes. That is, they are not malleable. No matter how you beat them, they will break. Non-metals will break, while metals can be put into shape. There are still other properties, but for the sake of our time, there are still other properties like the metals have high density. They have high density, while non-metal have low density. Alright, at this point in junction, we have come to the end of the class, and I will leave you with work to do at home. Let me give you some questions to do on your own. Alright, now work to do. I want you to do the following questions on your own. The first thing is this. Now state five properties H. State 5 properties H for metals and non-metal. Hope you got that information. What I mean is I said state 5 properties each for metals and non-metal. That means the way I put it in tabular form, try to draw out your own in tabular form and try to state the properties on your own. Second question. All right. Explain these terms. Explain these terms. Now, there are terms I use under this lesson. I use these terms. Explain them in your own way. You can make use of the encyclopedia or your dictionary. All right. Explain this term. Explain the term malleable. Now, malleable. Explain this term malleable. I want you to explain the term, density. Explain the term density. Explain the term density. I want you to explain the term. Another term, I want you to explain the term, explain this term melting. What does it mean when the material melts? What does it mean for a material to melt? And the last term, I want you to explain the meaning of the term, the word diamond. Diamond is one of these precious stones. It's one of these precious stones, or one of the, what they call, mineral resources. So explain these terms. Explain the meaning of malleable. Explain the term density, melting, and diamond. All right. At this point, we have come to the end of the lesson. Thank you for staying with me. I am Adedayo, and God bless you.